Oh, it is party time. Mom, welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. I don't know if you guys heard or not, after the firing of Don Lemon, the fans of Don Lemon, they voiced their outrage. CNN did everything they could to try to calm the fan base down, but those four people remain furious. All four. Nobody's going to miss Don Lemon. Oh, he'll be doing Urban View on Sirius XM or something like that. Oh, he'll pop up. Don't worry. Gay dudes usually do. Not even sure y'all are alive over there. Come on, man.
You think he'll team up with Brian Stelter for a new podcast?
I'm thinking not. I don't think Stelter is pretty enough for Don Lemon. It's an interesting week, man. It's been an interesting week. I told you guys, and I'm going to reiterate, I kind of want to summarize as we get off the rails. I want to summarize some of what we've talked about this week. For years now, we've told you that it is imperative that you support independent broadcasting. Now, there's a reason why we are a part of networks like the Blaze. You know, as someone who was a regular contributor to Fox News, I was on Fox all the time. A lot of people got to know me through Fox. I just watched a change happen, even from the outside. I watched a change happen. They started bringing in, different producers, and I could tell that they wanted certain types of content. I would make appearances on the shows, whether I was in New York or doing remotes or whatever. There was different types of content that they wanted that was different than what it had been originally, right? You couldn't joke about certain things. They really kind of called you down on that. And I don't know if you guys have figured this out yet or not, but I'm not real good at being filtered. I want to be filtered. I wish I could be filtered, but I just can't stop myself from saying really dumb things sometimes, because to me, it just seems right. So I do better. The older I get, I do better. But, they stopped having me on, and those were the reasons why, because they never knew what I was going to say. And I've seen this change in terms of their content over the years with all of the mainstream media. So if you remember a guy like Tucker Carlson's been on all of the networks. He was on CNN. He was on MSNBC. He ended up on Fox and then on Fox Nation. Fox Nation was not doing great at all. If you remember when they launched Fox Nation, which was their streaming service, their subscription service, there were several people that they had on there that just weren't carrying the load. They just weren't making it a thing. And so Fox Nation was kind of plummeting. And then they added Tucker Carlson Today. And they put it on there, and boom, it became a viable source of information. So Tucker single-handedly, in my opinion, those on the inside may correct me if I'm wrong, although I doubt they will, Tucker Carlson made Fox Nation an actual viable thing. So you take Tucker off of that, and now you have seen this week not only a market share of more than $1 billion just tank in the network, but also people just in droves canceling their Fox Nation subscription. So now, what's the logical thing that I should encourage you to do? Well, I should encourage you to go to blazetv.com, selfishly go to the /Chad part of it, add that on the end of it, use promo code Chad, and become a subscriber to Blaze TV. Now, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I do know that I am extremely excited about certain things that I see coming down the pike here at Blaze, okay? It's sort of like we are getting our feet underneath us in certain ways, in certain areas. Not that it hasn't been great content all along, but some real entertainment. More than just talking head, regurgitating the news and our opinions on it, but some real entertainment. Because as I've stated over and over again, The only way to deal with the insanity of the leftist progressive ideals, narratives, and agendas is to mock it. Because you've got to use humor to ridicule the stupidity. That's the only way people are going to see through it, right? Until that light bulb pops on and you have that aha moment, you're not going to realize the lunacy that's being crammed down your throat. So we have to mock it. Perfect example is our friends over at Babylon Bee. Now, Babylon Bee has a new book coming out, and it is Babylon Bee's Guide to Gender. And they reached out to me the other day, and they asked me to write an endorsement of the new book, and I'm going to go ahead and read to you what I wrote for them that should appear in the book, okay? Here's my endorsement of the Babylon Bee's new, very humorous book, and I read the advanced copy of it. It's insanely good. It says, "The bee strikes again. After reading the Babylon Bee Guide to Gender, I was able to not only question the deception of my own manhood, but also gently transition into the gender fluid they, them being we never knew we could be. We suddenly wanted to steal luggage and win first place. Not only that, we felt good about it. We highly recommend this fabulous book so that you can become an us too." And I just think that when you use humor like Babylon Bee has done to really mock the insanity, I think it does a fantastic job. So I'm excited to say, without revealing too much, that I think we're going to see more and more of that happening here at the Blaze. I'm excited about it. Kayla, are you excited about it? I'm so excited. And Brandon and Chris and so many of the new people that are going to be here at the Blaze, and some have been announced, some have not been announced, but there's been some new hires around, and I'm just excited, man. I'm fired up about it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun in the days ahead. So if you're not subscribing yet, go ahead and become a subscriber. Where am I going to be? Okay. Next week, I'm actually Saturday, I'm going to go out. I'm emceeing Peel for a Purpose. Peel with a Purpose. It's our annual crawfish deal, raise money for Boots for Troops. We're going to be in Tomball, Texas, out there. My buddies, lots of musicians, but Josh Ward's going to be there. Casey Donahue's going to be there all day, all night. I'm going to have my tent set up out there. We're actually going to do a bargain basement discount bin out there for inventory of T-shirts. I'm going to have like $10 T-shirts. So if you're there, I'll just have like a small, medium, large, extra large, double X, triple X bins out there, and you just go rummage through and buy stuff. Because I got to get rid of some inventory that I've been storing for a while. So that's a good deal. And then you can enjoy great music. And if you like crawfish like I do, which is a religion for me, then it's going to be a good deal. So you can go to bootsfortroops.org, I think, bootsfortroops.com, pick one, and get the information on that. And then next week, I'm going to be in DeKalb, Texas, which is over near Texarkana. That's going to be Saturday night, May 6th. And going to be doing a show, just me, solo, me and the guitar, telling some jokes, telling some stories, making you laugh, giving you some things to sing along to. You can go to chadpratherlive.com, get information there. And then we got a lot of stuff coming up, not the least of which in May 26th and 27th, I'll be back in the Tampa, Florida area at Side Splitters, which is going to be a lot of fun. 2 nights, 4 shows. Tons of fun, tons of fun. But you know what's a ton of fun is Joe Biden. Joe Biden thinks you are an idiot. He thinks you're a moron. And it's amazing to me that a guy that is in a mental decline, mental deficiency already, is going to stand there and tell me that I'm an idiot and tell me all the things that I don't know. Now, I know you love the sound of Joe Biden's voice. I know you appreciate it so very much, and you just look to him as a sage of our times. I mean, if you could climb the mountain and sit at the foot of the guru that is Joe Biden, you would want to receive the impartation of his wisdom and just saturate yourself in the aura of his charismatic presence. This guy, Joe Biden, just brings so much to our lives. And I've got a clip here I want to play for you, and he's going to remind you how much intellectually superior he is to you. Play the clip.
Like semiconductors. Folks, look. Think how many people had no idea what the heck a supply chain was. No, I'm serious. You said 2.5 years ago, well, the supply chain, people look at, I mean, really bright people. Look at well, guess what? Because of the pandemic, and factories shut down in Asia, they had no idea they were supplying the essential material to us. Shut down around the world.
Yeah. He didn't think you knew what the supply chain was. That's right. You didn't know where your goods were coming from. I mean, before Joe Biden and the pandemic, you didn't know that shit came from China. It's amazing. I mean, forget the fact that everything, including this shirt, has a tag in it that says made in China. Your kids have a tag that say made in China. Everything. But Joe thinks you didn't know that. I'm not kidding. You didn't even know until the whole thing got screwed up by the so-called pandemic. You didn't even realize that there were supply chains out there. You didn't know where your crap came from. You just woke up one day and Amazon packages were on your door. It's amazing. Your building products, your steel, everything. It all came from, your semiconductors. Oh, my God, we had no clue those were made in Taiwan. We had no clue where those things came from. Oh, it's amazing. Thank you, Joe, for educating all of us. But I love it when Joe's trying to explain something and he goes blank. Yeah, that to me is fascinating.
It's fun when he just stops mid-thought and then realizes he doesn't have it, and he just keeps going, which I kind of, appreciate.
Doesn't have a clue. It's so embarrassing and cringeworthy to watch him do that. This is the president of the United States, which what we've learned is you don't have to be that smart to do that job. And listen, I'll throw Donald Trump in there too. Donald Trump, as you've heard me say this before, he's a genius in some areas, but he's not in others, okay? And even he can make jokes about that. Donald Trump is an incredible salesman. I mean, he is divine level at reading people and just knowing how to he can read you up and down. He knows how to manipulate your weakness. He knows how to just drill right in on the pain point. He knows how to sell you. He will sell you something that you didn't even think you needed, and it'll be an upsell. It'll be bigger. It'll be crazier. It'll be wilder, and he'll make you believe in the process. But you get him to explain certain concepts, and we're going to be lacking, all right? My point is, you don't have to obviously be that incredibly intelligent, apparently, to be president of the United States these days, which is concerning when you think about the fact that most of us do our thinking on social media, and we have a whole future generation of kids that are screaming at the cameras telling us what's wrong with America, and their ideas are so off base that they haven't thought through. We're living in a world of meme, think, and talking points, and to me, that's scary. But, man, Joe's running for president again. He is coming back, baby. And you know what? It doesn't matter who it is, as long as the elections are rigged. As long as they can keep doing, and until somebody can truly explain to me how Joe Biden, the most inept guy who didn't even campaign, got 81 million votes, got more black votes than Barack Obama, until you can explain how that phenomenon happened, I'm going to continue to think that there was something rigged about the whole deal. And, again, and whether it's rigged or designed, either way, it's the same deal. They have a predetermined outcome. That's why Hillary Clinton, for instance, and I won't play in the past, that's why Hillary Clinton was so pissed off, because she was supposed to be a shoo-in, and Donald Trump won. That's why she lost her freaking mind. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to Brazil or Colombia. You can get crazy stuff done to your face. But why on earth would you do that? You can look years younger right now, right before your eyes, during Genucel's Mother's Day sale. That's right. Here's a real review from Genucel.com. Claire said, I absolutely love Genucel. My skin feels so good, tighter, younger, with even more tone. And I only used it for a week. My advice to everyone, take a before picture. But her husband, Jim, makes a more exciting point. He said, wife loves it. Ever since I purchased it for her, things got much more interesting after dark. Enough said. Well, it's true. Nothing works like Genucel because it's a family recipe for over 20 years. It's made by a compounding pharmacist in small batches, always safe, cruelty-free, all natural. Go to Genucel.com/watchchad now. Save over 70% off Genucel's most popular package during their Mother's Day sale. Every most popular package features the Ultra Retinol and Dark Spot Corrector. Don't wait. Go to genucel.com/watchchad. Get a complimentary Spa Essentials box with every package order from now until Mother's Day. Plus, you get a free upgrade to priority shipping. That's GENUCEL.com/watchchad. genucel.com/watchchad. Be right back. Oh, yeah. We, man, I don't know if you guys are going over to get any of your news from theblaze.com, but we got some intriguing stories over there. And some of these things, there's some pretty interesting stuff going on in our world. And I know people get mad at me. We post them on Facebook on my Watch Chad Prather page, and people get mad. They're like, "You're just trying to incite anger." No, well, I mean, does it anger you that this stuff's going on in your world? I mean, you should be aware of what's going on in your world. Like for instance, Democrats are pushing a bill that are protecting vulnerable LGBTQ illegal immigrants. I mean, just this week in Texas, back on Tuesday, the Democrats were trying to push a House bill through that was making it easier for illegals to not only get their driver's license, but to extend their period of their driver's license. And it's like, again, they do that. That's one step closer to making sure they can vote in American elections. But the Democrats, they introduced a bill that provides special protections for illegal immigrants who are considered vulnerable. So I'm just wondering how many cross-dressing illegals named Pedro are going to come to the border at Eagle Pass now.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of illegal immigrants just walk back. No, I'm very gay, super gay. I suck dick. Please let me in. Mr. Biden said if I was gay, I could come in.
If that word gets out, and trust me, that word will get out. It keeps them from being detained for a long term if they identify as LGBTQ or they qualify for other protected classes. So it's called the Dignity for Detained Immigrants Act. It's a Democrat from Washington, Pramila Jayapal. It was Senator Cory Booker, of course it was, and of course Representative Adam Smith from Washington as well. So it would hinder Border Patrol agents from detaining certain vulnerable populations. It would protect any illegal alien who identifies as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or intersex. That's a lot. The bill would also give special protections to anyone under the age of 21 and older. Then 60, pregnant women, asylum seekers, that's all of them, right? Survivors of torture, that's all of them, right? Gender-based violence, that's all of them, right? Those experiencing severe trauma. I mean, wasn't there like a 10 or 12-year-old girl, they just found 67 samples of DNA in her? 67 different DNA samples inside one child. So, yeah, I would say that they're all survivors of torture or gender-based violence or experiencing severe trauma. Because, again, when you have open borders like this, and we do have open borders, you're going to find more and more stuff like this when the cartels are in charge and they're making money off of trafficking these people. Oh, another protected class are illegal aliens with limited English language proficiency. So really and truly, this bill doesn't have shit to do with LGBTQ or whatever. It's just about every person coming to the border. So the Homeland Security Department has 48 hours to detain arrested illegal aliens or release them on bond. But it would have a special rule for vulnerable persons and primary caregivers that would force DHS to release protected illegal immigrants and may not be detained unless DHS can discriminate that it is unreasonable or not practicable to place the alien in a community-based supervision program. So they have 48 hours to decide whether or not an illegal alien, they could, how long they can keep them. So anyway, that's messed up. That is messed up. Cory Booker said, our immigration system has allowed for the unjust treatment of immigrants and stripped them of their humanity and due process. We must respect and protect the basic rights of immigrants detained in the United States. I'm proud to reintroduce this bill, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm all for humanitarianism. I am. I believe in compassion. But when you create a system whereby you enable people to be abused by promising them something at the end of a certain journey, they will put themselves through a lot of things. And if there's a promise of many, many riches on top of that, there are people who will force those people to go through certain things. And then by the time they get here, man, they've been so abused and dehumanized that, I mean, we're dealing with a major crisis on our hands. And then you give them this big broad category that now, again, what did I say the other day with Brad Siskimus on the show? They trot out the most wounded people and they play upon your compassion, and therefore the rules become obsolete. Because who doesn't feel sorry for a 10-year-old with 67 DNA samples? She's been raped so many times. Who doesn't have compassion for that girl? Of course we do. We love these people. We love all people. We do. We want to fight against the abuse. But my God, dude, that's why I joined up with Texans for Strong Borders, and you'll see me doing more and more advocacy work for that because, again, we've created a system that leads to abuse, and there's no arguing it. See, that's the thing. At the end of the day, many of us, we want the same goals. I don't care what side you choose. We want the same goal. We just have different routes of taking it. And we all keep accusing each other of inhumanity in our methods, but we have the same goal. We want people to be taken care of. Now, I want people to be taken care of just for the sheer fact that I think that there's dignity by design. I think that you're created in the image of God, and I think we should honor that image and you should be taken care of because we should have compassion. We should have that. But we've created a system that leads to non-compassion. But then you have the other people, they don't care what kind of non-compassion that these people have to go through just so long as they get here. And then once they get here, we can use them for whatever means necessary. If that means voting, or if that means census, or if that means allocating funds, or more bureaucracy, or bigger government, or more dependence, and all of these things. That's why I always go back to the great thing about what Milton Friedman, the late economist, said. You can have one of two things. You can have an open border, or you can have a welfare system. You can't have both. If you have both, it's going to overrun the welfare system, and this country's going to wind up bankrupt, which is why we have these bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., and consequently the politicians that are pushing modern monetary theory. They're pushing ESG scores. They're pushing World Economic Forum theories. They're thinking that deficits and debts are okay. You can print enough cash. You can raise the rates. You can buy your way out of debt, with more, stuff that has no backing to it. And again, we wind up completely bankrupt as a nation. The dollar no longer has global power. Our enemies are sitting at the door waiting to see us. And you know what? I promise you that these people, the gay migrants coming across the border, aren't coming here to fight for America's, sovereignty. They're not. They're not even coming here to assimilate. They're not coming in here to learn the English language. Yeah, they got a limited English vocabulary. They don't have any English vocabulary. That's why when you're in McAllen at the airport and you see these people walking around with the manila envelopes, on the outside of it says, "I do not speak English. Help me get to the right gate." And inside there is some paperwork that says these people can fly to wherever they want to inside of our country. Boom, they're gone. Poof, into the wind. You think they're coming back in 2 years for a court date? Hell no. So here we are, Cory Booker. So much compassion, so much compassion. Let's create a system whereby people get abused, whereby people get brought to the border and go through God knows what to get here. And then we think that the worst thing that could possibly happen to them at this point is they get detained for 72 hours while we figure out who the F they are, why they're here, where they come from, what their intentions are, where they're going. I mean, could it possibly ever cross your mind that maybe not everybody coming to our southern border, like the hundreds of Chinese nationals that somehow found a wormhole from Beijing to Juarez, why they might be coming in here, these fighting age males. And then you go, Why are our food plants blowing up? Why are cows exploding? Why does the Chinese government own so much ranch and farmland? Why are we being bought out at exponential numbers of acres and arable land, sowable land? Why don't we have our own independence anymore? Oh, wait, here comes Joe Biden. He's going to explain it to you. Well, a couple of years ago, you didn't even know what a supply chain was. I'm not kidding. You bunch of ignorant Americans. How dare you complain about the supply chain? We fixed all of this stuff. Well, Joe, let me tell you something. I hope your supply chain is real freaking robust, because you got a huge supply chain of immigrants that are coming to this country who have no business being here and have no intention of assimilating into American culture or embracing the Constitution. Certainly don't plan to be law-abiding, because they didn't come here to abide by the law. They came here to take your government handouts when you print the money, and they take all the free stuff that you're going to give to them, and they're here. They're here, and they're in the wind. But thank you, Cory Booker. Let's make sure that we throw a little more compassion on it and say, it's bad enough they came up here and went through all the hardships, but let's be extra careful with those who are considered a vulnerable class. Do I make any sense? It's insane to me.
On the fun side, it is funny to imagine instead of a pride parade, it'll be a pride caravan.
The pride parades turn into caravans.
Yeah.
And then it's a whole different meaning to a greasy burrito, dude. It's a whole different type of taco, man.
It's going to be fun to see Central American countries deal with the gay stuff now, because they really do not play that.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, that's a different type of meat in the taco, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Oh, you know what I got to do? I got to take my relief factor. Pray to God I never choke on this stuff. These big old pills. I got to find the little cut. There it is, right there. Bam! It's open. Got to get my relief factor. Take it every day. There it is. All right, you're dealing with pain. I'm trying to help you. The older we get, one of the few guarantees we have in life, along with death and taxes, is pain. And you sustain it, you deal with it, you move forward. But sometimes there's no moving forward, because sometimes it comes back day after day, month after month, until it fills your world and steals some of the joy or all the joy you get out of life. Now, if you're one of those people that experience this, you know how really awful it can be. The good news is that it doesn't have to be that way. So Relief Factor. They are a great way to reduce pain. It's mostly caused by inflammation in the joints, and when you take it as directed, it can absolutely change your life. It's not a drug, but it is developed by doctors. It reduces inflammation in your body, and guess what? 70% of the people who take it keep ordering it because it works. Now, if you're living with pain, I want you to please try it, okay? Just try it. They've got a great deal for you. For $19.95, you can get a 3-week quick start. It's a trial pack. If you'll go to relieffactor.com, that's relieffactor.com. You can call them on the phone, 800-4-RELIEF. But go to relieffactor.com. We'll be right back. Hey, guys, I don't know if you got a chance to see it yet, but a brand new Joe Biden clip has just dropped. Let's see it.
As the Vice President's wife, I stand with the Iranian people. We denounce the Russian invasion of Uranus, and today I'm announcing that Putin will no longer be allowed on the Ritz. But here's the thing. We need to protect the uranium from the evil clutches of Russia, since Hillary already gave them 20% of uranium back when Barack was First Lady. We will establish a no-fly zone where all Russian pilots will be required to wear an N95 mask by order of the CDC. This will ensure that the Soviets will not invade Taiwan. Go get him.
Yeah. I love it, dude. That's Joe consciousness right there. That is some Joe puppetry. That's where it's all at. I wish Joe was that eloquent. Yeah, Joe Headroom. All of the uranium. Yeah. Oh, he's going to invade uranium and Uranus. The uranium people. Oh, man. Did you see the Newsmax? Let's call it back. Did you see the Newsmax interview where Trump was asked about the Hunter Biden letter? Yeah, we got that clip, don't we? Play that clip. Play that thing.
Revelation that this was incredible. that 51 intelligence agents totally lied. I think it's treason. They totally lied just before the election, right before the vote. They lied, and they said that the computer, which had all crimes on it, was Russian disinformation. 51 top people, the top people in the country, they lied. I actually think it's treasonous. And by the way, that's just another way that they cheated on the election. They cheated in many ways.
You should would you revoke their security clearances? A lot of these people they're contractors, they're still intelligence professionals, and they have access to our secrets. Should they lose that?
The security clearance of every one of those people should be immediately revoked. Absolutely.
Yeah, so, I mean, where's the lie right there, right? I mean, he's not wrong. And now we know that Merrick Garland was protecting information and also dictating what information could be put out there and what's needed to be repressed. So that's why when I say, was there election interference or were things rigged? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. There was election meddling. The reason that the left was so quick after Donald Trump won the election, 2016, the reason they were so quick to start talking about election meddling is because they knew that's what they were doing. And so they had the vocabulary, all spun up. It was ready to go. That's why on January 27th, people have heard me say this before, on January 27th of 2017, just a mere weeks after the inauguration, mypoliticalcowboy.com blog, it's now defunct, went from 750,000 unique visitors a day, 750,000 a day, to 3,000 a day. Why? Because of the whole Russian misinformation, Cambridge Analytica, meddling in elections, anything that was what they deemed politically right-leaning on social media. They shut down the traffic. And they ran this investigation of Russian bots and Russian misinformation campaigns and all of this crap that we learned about the Mueller investigation and Russian collusion and the Steele dossier. They shut everything down on social media. I watched my numbers literally plummet. And I'm nobody in the grand scheme of things. That's when the meddling truly, they were like, you know what? Let's just keep doing it. We'll keep blaming the right side. We'll keep blaming, the Republicans for doing it. But we're just going to keep up with the same MO, the same modus operandi. We're going to keep operating with the same strategy. And we haven't done anything about it. And now we're seeing it all come to light. I mean, the fact that Hillary Clinton and the DNC, used a foreign operative to create the Steele dossier, the fact that they were the ones doing the Russian collusion and the meddling, the fact that 51 top security agents were the ones who were hiding this information. Come on, what world are we living in now? That's why I say we have an illusion of freedom. We're not free anymore. I used to argue. I was like, we are free, because I spent so much time in third world countries where everywhere you go, you'd cross from one province into another. You had to show your papers. You had to have visas. You had to talk about why you were going into these areas. I mean, you had to talk to armed guards about why you were crossing this, this border or whatever. I was like, nah, I can travel from here to Louisiana to Mississippi to Alabama to Georgia to Florida. I can drive, and nobody's going to stop me at every border. They're not going to do it. I'm free to do that. But I'm not free, am I? I'm not. If I go cast my vote, does it count? Does it count? Do we know? How do we know? How do we know what information is out there? How do we know at this stage in the game, now that Joe Biden has announced his re-election campaign, how do we know what's being hidden from us? I mean, the rumors are that Hunter Biden's been living at the White House because they're after him. He's got a lawsuit against him. So he's basically taking shelter and crying for amnesty, living in the White House. Hunter Biden. I wonder if crack tastes different in the Lincoln bedroom. I mean, I'm not talking about John F. Kennedy kind of crack. That's a different deal.
I bet Hunter gets the stuff that they seeded into the inner cities in the 80s under Reagan.
Probably so. The pharmaceutical.
Yeah. He gets that fresh crack from the CIA.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the pharmaceutical grade cocaine, dude.
It must be great. I can't. Look,
I have no clue.
I'd do the same thing if him. He's putting out these paintings, smoking crack. He's got a pretty sick life.
Yeah, it ain't bad. It's like an artist. He's shaving his butthole and filming it.
I mean, all great artists are weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Hunter. Yeah. I read I've said this before, Keith Richards, the lead guitarist for the Rolling Stones, who's going to outlive all of us. In his autobiography, he said that's the one thing he misses from his rock and roll days is pharmaceutical grade cocaine.
Oh, I mean, he was in the era of just the best you could find.
Said you just can't get it, and again, people talk, oh, cocaine, like that's the bad, oh my God, cocaine, I mean, there's two organic drugs. One is pot and the other cocaine.
Yep.
It comes from organic sources. The problem is it's been stepped on by all kind of crap, along the way.
Once they started putting fentanyl in it, they ruined the fun.
They messed it up.
Yeah.
Dude. It's a threat of death at this point. But no, I can't imagine what that would be like. And I'm sure Hunter knows. I bet Hunter's down there exploring the tunnels under the White House, the escape routes that Marilyn Monroe took.
Like the ones they sneak people into JFK's bedroom with?
Yeah. Amy Carter, Jimmy and Rosalind Carter's daughter, she used to talk about that. She talked about sneaking out of the White House, using the tunnels. Those are good times, man. Good times. You guys look at me like I'm crazy with this Refuge Ghost, man. I'm telling you, the ghost sleeve from Refuge Privacy, you got your phone. Guys, this is the world we're living in these days. It's a tracking device. You turn it off. It's still a tracking device. This thing knows where you're at all times. Therefore, the people know. So if you're concerned about big tech's invasive data tracking capabilities, they know your precise location anytime they want to know. They want to track you down. If they want to stalk you, or you got some crazy girl out there that wants to stalk you, or if you're concerned with EMPs or whatever, you want to protect your device, it'd be nice to be able to protect that phone with something that keeps everybody and everything out of it whenever you don't want them in there. If you're going to have a big top secret meeting and steal the election or something like that, and you don't want anybody listening in on your conference call, or you're, while you're sitting in there having a meeting, the ghost sleeve from Refuge Privacy, that's exactly what it does. Faraday fabric, blocks the signals to and from the phone. It's got a sound blocking panel on each side. Private conversations are yours, not anybody else's. It's the only Faraday sleeve that blocks both signal and sound. So it's also made in America with American buffalo leather, so it looks nice. And each sleeve has an easy open and close airtight seal. And it uses the premium Faraday fabric that blocks even the high-frequency 5G signals that other sleeves don't do. No, so it'll give you the peace of mind. It might even save your life. So visit refugeprivacy.com today. Use promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. It'll save you 10% on your order. That's refugeprivacy.com. Use promo code Chad for 10% off. And we'll be right back. Yeah, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the leaked Skype call between the Bud Light CEO and the marketing director that is now gone. Which, by the way, she was placed on a leave of absence. I've had a lot of people who have leaked a lot of information who've worked with Anheuser-Busch for 25 years. And ever since they got bought out by that Belgian company, InBev, so that's what they do. They say, we're putting you on a 90-day leave of absence. Basically, that's their way of saying, go find another job. That's that's the way they do business inside Anheuser-Busch. InBev says, okay, you get a 90-day leave of absence. We're basically, and I don't care at what level you're at. I've had several different people leak information to me from Anheuser-Busch, and they've said, this is how we've done it now for years. That means you're not coming back. So anyway, I don't know if you saw the leaked footage of the Skype call. Many of you probably have, but let's play that clip.
Good morning, Mr. Whitworth.
Good morning, Ms. Heinerscheid. Just want to say that as president and CEO of Anheuser-Busch, that I admire your risk-taking. We're all about risk-taking. Just ask Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Trust me.
I wanted to tell you, I saw that new patriotic ad that Budweiser just released. Don't know who was in charge of that, but I thought the Dylan Mulvaney campaign that we did was really, really on point. So great. I'm just trying to make the company, a little less like Manheiser-Busch.
Okay. Well, that's actually why I'm calling you. I after the Dylan Mulvaney campaign, there was a sharp decline in sales. I don't know if you know that or not. We're actually calling it our Kid Rock Toby Keith demographic. Literally 100% of all Bud Light drinkers.
Ugh, Kid Rock, he's gross. It's kind of like the old logo for the Four Peaks beer brand. I have a really great idea here of how we can boost like sales and trans awareness again. This time we're gonna have a can designed with Dylan Mulvaney in erotic tan mesh swimwear.
Oh, that's what I get for coming here straight from breakfast.
I'm sorry?
I mean, bravery at its best. However, we're going to need to keep the snowy peaks for our Eskimo customers.
That's cool. I get it. You're right. They're called Inuit people, though.
Yeah. Of course. Of course, that's what I meant. Inuit.
Look. What we really need to talk about also is rebranding Natural Light. We need someone who is natural and light, and I can think of no one for that better than Jeffrey Marsh.
Oh, awesome! You actually you made his penis into the eye in ice. I can't unsee that. I'm sorry, Ms. Heinerscheid. As the president CEO, I regret to inform you that you are...
I know. I can't, just double down. I gotta, triple down, quadruple down, go all in. That is why I think that we should totally put up these pictures of trans double mastectomy surgical scars on the bottles of Shock Top.
Is that Elliot Page without a shirt on?
Yes, because, Shock Top.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're f***ing fired. There you go. Yeah, you're out, Heinerscheid. Gone. I mean, we get all the leaked information here from corporate America. Oh boy. Tons of content. Play that clip about the lesbian thing. I love lesbians. Play it.
So this week is Lesbian Visibility Week,
What?
and as the first openly queer person to hold the position of press secretary for the President of the United States,
Smell my breath.
I see every day how important visibility and representation are. Today, I'm honored to welcome the cast of The L Word and Generation Q, two Showtime series that chronicle the friendship, the love, the challenges, and the triumphs of strong, funny, and resilient queer women.
Queer.
Up here with me are the amazing, talented actresses who play those very roles. Jennifer Beals, Leisha Haley, and Catherine Menig, and the show's co-creator, writer, and executive producer, Eileen Shaken.
I don't think all those women are gay.
I was just asking Kayla, do straight women wear pantsuits?
I mean.
Or are they just, are they in denial? I don't think straight women wear pantsuits.
I don't think so either. Hillary might be the only one, but I don't know what she is.
A villain.
I don't think Hillary has sex of any kind.
She just drinks the blood of dead babies.
Ooh,
Yeah.
You ain't wrong. What is it with KJP trotting out the actors and the actresses and the creators of these shows? I mean, she had Ted Lasso on, that crew, a couple of weeks ago when the debacle blew up about certain people not getting their fair shake when it comes to asking questions. And then now you got the L word for, what was it? It's lesbian. That's the word I was looking for. Lesbian visibility. I mean, usually when I see a lesbian, I know it. They're pretty visible. It's like Bill Burr said. He's like, okay, think of like a plumber. Like, what would a plumber look like, right? All right, because people say, how would you know what a lesbian looks like? Think of a plumber. All right, what would you think? Okay, now think of a carpenter. What would that person look like? Now think of a lesbian. I mean, we get it. You're reasonably visible. That's fun. But I sure am glad they did that, man. I just really needed them to come and be visible there for at the White House, in front of the White House press corps. And there's about to be a lot more here based on Cory Booker and Jayapal or whatever her name is from Washington. Their new bill, LGBTQ plus vulnerable classes for illegal immigrants that are coming across the border. They don't have to get detained. Can we play real quick? Can we play the ice cream with John Kerry? Do we have time with that? I love Jen Psaki. Do you have it real quick? Let's play it.
Now, I remember well that you have a bit of a sweet tooth. Do you want to go get some ice cream over there?
Oh, my God.
Let's do it.
Hitting the nail on the head.
Okay.
Totally unplanned, very spontaneous. Oh, it's like a date.
How are you?
Oh.
You got some good ice cream?
What do we have here? A Dove Bar.
Dove Bar. Oh, Dove. I love Dove.
That's a good old
Dove Bar.
State Department special.
What do you want?
I'll have a Dove Bar, too. So I know you like Forrest Gump a little bit. Does this remind you? You've lived a life a little bit like Forrest Gump.
I've had some Forrest Gump moments. God, every time I'm around here, I always think of him screaming to Jenny in the pool over here.
Man, that is some hard-hitting action right there on MSNBC.
What is with these people and ice cream?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a thing.
Is that code? Like, are they sending us a message?
Dude, it's like John Podesta's pizza. I mean, I think they had to change from pizza sauce and pasta sauce over to ice cream. Something weird's going on. Speaking of your nutrition, Texas Superfoods, we all have learned that it is important to do business with people we can trust and share our values. The founder of Texas Superfoods is a veteran. He's a Texan. He's a homeopathic doctor. He's committed his life to help people like you get yourself out of the American medical system, take your health into your own hands. So he developed Texas Superfoods, vine-ripened, antioxidant-rich, raw natural fruits and vegetables. And listen, we've learned over the last few years that you've got to take care of your immune system. We've learned that there is a bunch of crap on the market that tries to fix symptoms to our health issues. The simple truth is that our body, when you properly feed it, has an amazing ability to ward off and even fight disease. So I take Texas Superfoods. I want you to take Texas Superfoods. You'll feel great like me. And I live on the road. It's great to know that my body's getting what it needs with Texas Superfoods, and it keeps me functioning at my best. So give them a try. I'm going to say it to you twice. Go to TexasSuperfoods.com. That's TexasSuperfoods.com, and we'll be right back. Chad Prather Live. I'd love it if you came out and hung out with me on the road. Going to be in DeKalb, Texas. Going to be in Tampa. Let's see. We got tons of stuff that is coming up, man. Going to be in Sharon Springs, Kansas, Inman, Texas. Godly over at Del Norte. We've got the private show there in Cleburne, Texas. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. ChadPratherLive.com. And go over to my new site, 76forever.com. That's the new store. We're going to be doing some major giveaways. We want you to give us your email address because we want to make sure you know when the giveaways are coming. Really cool stuff over there. And we're building it, kind of rebranding in a big way. And I'm real proud of that new store. So if you do me a favor, just go check it out, 76forever.com. And please subscribe. This week, my buddy Tim Kennedy with me on Overtime, blazetv.com/Chad. Sign up. We will see you there. We love you. God bless you. Bye.